think I get more nervous preaching to nobody than to everybody. Well, anyway, I saw the sunrise this morning, standing at the front door of the church and looking at the sun kind of invading the clouds. And as I was doing that, I heard the click on my phone, and sure enough, the same guy that did it last week did it this week. Good old Larry's at his house in Michigan, and the sun is rising above the lake, and he sends me a text, another picture of the sunrise. And I thought of the power of being connected despite all the miles separating us. I'm thinking of another son this morning too. And that's a son named Jesus, a humble carpenter. In a little bit, we're going to lift up a cup and lift up a little bit of bread. It's interesting, this son, Jesus, spent his entire ministry breaking through the clouds of despair, the clouds of division, the clouds of misunderstanding. Isn't it interesting that this whole communion thing that we have adopted as Christians, that the reason we have it is because a carpenter who's Jewish lifted up the cup and the bread at a Passover meal? You see, this cup is not about anybody's religion. Jesus lifted up a cup of universal hope. He lifted up some bread, the bread of life for all people, calling all of us, no matter what religion we are, to come together. And this coming together goes beyond religion. It goes into the very depths of the Spirit that brings us together, especially in tough times like this. You know, next Sunday is Palm Sunday. It's the beginning of Holy Week, which is probably the pinnacle and the most dramatic time in the church year. And during Holy Week, we may not even be able to go to church. But remember that religion, whatever religion you or I may be, religion and Easter is not about filling the church. It's about filling our hearts with a spirit of hope. Hope for those who are sick and those who have left us. Hope exemplified by truck drivers and grocery store workers and first responders and doctors and nurses who every day put themselves at risk so that each one of us can get through these troubled times. And many of you sharing and giving so those who have lost so much can get through the days ahead. This journey of Holy Week from death and despair to life and hope, it comes from each one of us in the way we treat each other, in the way we walk, in the way we live each day. I did something kind of stupid the other day, which is kind of my blueprint lately anyway. I had just done the thought for the day, and my car was being serviced a little bit away from here, and so I decided I would just, since I wanted to kind of stay by myself, I decided I would walk to get my truck. And I put my credit card and my church key in my left pocket, and I walked out the door. And as I was walking, I kept making sure the credit card and the key were there like somebody would take it. I was all by myself, and I kept putting my hand in my pocket to make sure it's there. And I got about halfway to the garage where my truck is, and my credit card is missing. Well, it's because I kept putting my hand in there, and it must have flipped out when I took my hand out. And so, I just looked and looked and looked for it. Nobody else is on the path, so I figured I'd just turn around and be right there. But I looked, and I became obsessed with finding my credit card. Well, after being a nutcase for too long, I decided to do the simple thing. I went back to church, called the credit card company, and it took about a minute and a half to get a new card. The next day, I did my thought for the day, and I walked out the front door. Now I was relaxed. I just wanted to go for a walk and come back. And there was my credit card laying right there, right in front of me. And I was thinking to myself, it's ironic. I found it when I didn't need to find it. I found it without looking for it. And I was thinking to myself, there are times when I do look too hard. Or maybe I look for stuff and things in all the wrong places. It's like having a dream. And you or I were talking to God. And we say, Lord, I'm so hard trying to find you. And God says, I didn't know I was lost. And he says, maybe Don, maybe you're the one who's lost. And now I have found you. I do get lost once in a while. And maybe you do too. And maybe instead of looking for hope, I need to open my eyes to the hope that is alive all around me. Maybe instead of looking for love, I need to embrace the love that the good Lord and my friends give me every single day. Maybe I need to spend a little less time looking for miracles and more time embracing the miracles that come alive all around us. Things are tough right now. They're tough for all of us. And for some of you, things are tougher than for others. But we shouldn't have to have tough times to bring us all together. But out of this shared journey and struggle that we're going through today, maybe we can rediscover the purity and the goodness of what true religion is. Not the kind of religion that keeps us apart, but the kind of religion that binds us together. You see, true religion is a spirit. It's not a brand. It's not a name. It's God-given. And it comes alive in the quiet acts of courage and the often unnoticed moments of kindness that are around us every day. This is what matters, and this will get us through. It's an honor to be with you today. Now, let's get my voice out of here and have a little song. Oh, the creed first, and then the song.